Welcome back to another Wednesday, guys. Today we're going to be changing the pace a little bit. Instead of doing a League vlog, since I haven't actually gone to League in the last week or two, we're actually going to be just doing a overview of what we picked up for the month of July. With that said, there hasn't been a whole lot that I have picked up. There's been a few things. There's been a couple things that have been kind of actually pretty huge for me, just in the sense of a collecting standpoint. Outside of those few cards, everything else has just been kind of things that I like to pick up here and there. So we'll just go over most of what I have picked up. There's a few things that I have gone into binders and I probably forgot about at this point, but for the most part, we'll try to cover everything that we've picked up. So there's several different Pokemon that I'm really into collecting, one of those being the fan favorite evolutions. So recently we have picked up a few evolutions right here. We have 2 platinums in this beyond. I forget exactly which set this one is. I know it's one of those Heart Gold Soul Silver sets. And a few actually noteworthy ones that I'm really a big fan of, the evolutions and plasma era. So these right here, the Flareon is one of the ones that stands out to me the most, simply because the red, the yellow, and the blue really contrasts against each other. I guess kind of like the Pokeball on the back with the border. But I just think that the cards with the blue borders look super nice as opposed to the yellow border. I know a lot of people aren't big fans of the yellow border. I myself am not. I think it'd be a lot cooler if they were blue, but you know, that's one thing that you can't really fix. Now, while we're on this binder, there has been several other things. There's some more Plasma Freeze right here. I haven't really picked up any of those particular ones. Those are all I had, but most of these right here I have picked up. Pretty much all of these right here have been picked up recently. Let's see, while we're on this book, shiny Pokemon has been another thing that I've been picking up. I've already had these for quite a while. I think the shiny Mew was not this last trade night that we picked it up, but the previous one, so that one doesn't technically count. Nothing out of there actually has been picked up recently. But the baby shiny Pokemons, there's several that I have picked up. The Radiant Pokemon's over here. Radiant Greninja and Radiant Venusaur are some that I have picked up. I have dual copies of each at this point, including the Radiant Charizard. We'll get into that a little bit later. But another one of those that, like I said, are fan favorites that I'm a big fan of as well is Charizard. I've been picking up more Charizards over the last couple months. Well, these I primarily already had. All of these are pretty much new to me, with Pokemon Go introducing several new Charizards. You know, these are really cheap right now, so they're really good to pick up in my personal opinion, from a good collecting standpoint, because they're cheap. They'll appreciate over time, Charizards always do, and with the price point being what it is right now, you can totally load up on them and not really hurt the wallet, and that's kind of where I'm at with this one. Now, there are other Charizards that I have been picking up that aren't as cheap as these, one of them being the Charizard EX. This was actually a promo from the X and Y era. There is a Pikachu, a Venusaur, and a Blastoise, kind of with the same artwork style. I don't have any around me right here to show you, but they're pretty cool. They also came in a jumbo size in the European box, if I remember correctly. I'll have to double check, but I'm pretty sure there is, because I was making mental note that I needed to pick that one up as well. Now, with Pokemon Go being a thing, as I had said, Radiant Charizard is another one that is a really good pickup in my personal opinion, for me anyways. It's currently about $30 and it is a really nice card. Doesn't hurt the wallet too much. So one that's pretty easy to trade for, as it's not pushing 100 plus on the trading end. So another one that's pretty cool that I got pretty lucky, that was on my, to buy list or to acquire list at some point or other, is the Space Set Charizard. It's not a first edition and it's not a shallowest, but still it is a Charizard. It's from, way back in the day. I forget exactly when it came out, either like 94, 95. Quick correction for those that are just listening, base set was printed in 99. The coolest one that I actually got to pick up, and one that was kind of a girl card for me, that I was thinking maybe down the line I'll pick one up and be a proud owner of, is this Charizard right here from Expedition, if I remember correctly. Now, this card goes for anywhere between like 300 to 500 depending, on the condition. I actually got this one for a steal. This might be one of the coolest damage cards that I actually own. You can't really see the damage, but if you look closer right here, you can see a little bit of a crease right there, and also an indentation right here on the very edge. So with that said, the hollow is actually pretty good. There's a little bit of scratching, light scratching, nothing too crazy. For the most part, it's pretty good though. So I actually got this for a really good price, and I am a pretty happy owner of this card now. So there's that. Now, another really cool card that I actually got to pick up right at the end of July was this Pikachu right here. Now, if I would have saw this card out in the wild, I would have thought it was fake, simply because it doesn't look like a regular Pokemon card. The front is different, the text is different, and if you look at the back, it's actually quite different as well. So while a regular Pokemon card will look like this right here. This one actually has a way different background patterning to it, and it also says Funko School. One of the cool things was with these cards is it's actually made in India, and it was I forget exactly the backstory, but either a company or a few people got together and got permission from the Pokemon company to make these cards, so they're technically officially licensed by Pokemon. It's something that I wasn't aware of until I saw an unlisted leak video a while back, and I actually got the opportunity to run into a pack at Trainer J's, and we got to open it, and I got to take the cards home, and I think it was a really cool thing to have in the collection, especially since I do have a small Pikachu collection. Now, I have been buying bulk here and there as well, and with bulk normally you end up with random cards. Here's some of the cards that I've actually picked up in those bulk lots. This one has a good amount of Japanese stuff, and then we ended up with a lot of bulk V cards for the most part. They'll be good to trade and sell at League. Now, we did end up with a lot of celebration cards as well. For the celebration cards, I'm mostly keeping all of them. I'll end up putting them in the box that I have where I've been storing most of my celebration cards, whether they're V's or just regulars. Pretty much anything celebration is going into the box for later on down the road. Now, one of the last things that we have been picking up, and this started out kind of randomly, it never was intentional to actually end up with this mini of these cards, but it is amazing rare cards. I really like them, and it's gotten to the point where I have enough to actually fill, the nine slot pages with the one particular card. This one being the Kyogre. Moving on into the Reshiram, and then we go into a Yveltal, and then we have a few Celebies. Not quite enough to finish out the page though. But I never intentionally meant to end up with this mini. It was just kind of one of those things where I thought they were really cool, and I was just buying them and trading for them as I ran into them. A couple here and a couple there turned into several pages of these, and now that I have this mini, I would like to actually finish out a page of each one. So we'll continue collecting these, and we'll see how this amazing rare collection progresses throughout the months. Now, that's pretty much all that I've collected for the month of July. There's other stuff that's not as noteworthy, or stuff that I might have just forgot to include. But potentially, we'll keep doing this every month, just depending on how much we continue to collect and pick up randomly. Might even do mail days every once in a blue moon. I'm not too sure yet. There's that Pikachu collection that I had mentioned earlier, though. Nothing too crazy, just a few different things, just Pikachus. But yeah, guys, if you like this video and would like to see another one like this or any other type of videos, let me know in the comment section. Also, if you made it all the way to the end of the video, go ahead and hit subscribe and hit that like button if you don't mind. It goes a long ways for the algorithm to push us to other viewers. So with that said, thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care.